Hi, everyone. The power of persistence is what is needed to navigate through life, and the benefit is enormous. Today, I am going to be bringing a guest, and we're going to look at the power of persistence and how to walk through persistence. He is an interesting personality, and I would like for us to have him talk about the power of persistence. Persistence is something that is required in the journey of our lives, and we cannot afford to go through life without this great skill called persistence. This man is an amiable man. I mean, he's someone that you would want to hear talk. And I am glad that he's with me on this program. His name is Collins. Hi, Collins. Good day.
Good day. Hi.
Good, I'm fine. Good morning. Thank you so much for being on the program. I'm so very grateful having you here today. I
It's
know I
my
had to
day.
pull you out of a very tight schedule. It's very early for you, but thank you for honoring me and thank you for being here. I need you to talk to us, Collins. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you know. Tell us what you do, and let's take the discussion from there. So tell us, who is Collins?
Okay, first, I would like to appreciate you for bringing me to this
Oh,
show. To this,
thank you.
it's my pleasure. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
I'm Emenike Collins. I'm
Mm,
a Nigerian by birth,
mm.
and I run a salon.
Yes,
I
that
run a
part I'm
salon.
interested. I'm interested because
Yeah.
way back I used to have guys. Men are good at certain things. I think men are good at the things that women do. Why did you choose to run a salon?
Okay, right from time,
Yeah.
I saw myself being interested to how women look,
Oh,
like how they look. When I see a woman looking somehow, I get so angry, like
yeah.
go and do this. So I started picking up that interest and knowing the styles and everything. Then after some time, I just let me just go into it and be the one doing it.
Wow, that's
But
amazing. That's amazing. So how is the business of making people's hair? What is the
it's
gratification? Yeah.
what is
The gratification, they pay you a lot of money, or it's just the fulfillment that you have when you make a woman's hair?
and aside from the fulfillment, I'm a guy, so there's a difference. I even charge more than the ladies, but but people come, and it's tiring though because lot
I
of
know.
people.
I know. You're a YouTuber. Talk to us about that. Your YouTuber, your channel is something I've listened to. And what is your story?
Okay, I this YouTube of a thing, I didn't just start it because I just wanted to start it. It started when I was in my 200 level in school. I had a dream somehow, a dream where I was passing and someone was trying to hang himself, and immediately I didn't say a word, and the person just couldn't kill himself and ran towards me and held my shirt, held me like this, and were like, it was like, why didn't you allow me die and all those kind of things. I didn't say a word and I woke up. But that dream has been in my mind since 200 level, have been bothering me and this and that. But I didn't still think it this way to start a YouTube channel and be doing talks, public talks like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And when I got to my service, when I in Nigeria we serve NYC.
Okay.
So during my
Yeah.
service here, there were a lot of difficulties. So
Mm,
I felt a lot of pain. Like
mm,
during the process, I was learning my head hairstyling business as well.
mhm,
So,
mhm,
but with all other things I was doing, I was feeling like I was having a hard time financially and in every aspect at
mm,
that time.
mm,
But something struck me one day
mm,
because I do I have this gift of just getting words and formulate them together to make to make someone feel encouraged.
mm,
So I can actually talk to someone and the person feel encouraged at the end. So
mm.
I thought about using it for myself because I was going through a lot of things. Then I sat down, I wrote a speech. It's on YouTube. I titled it "Don't Be Discouraged." That is, nothing is impossible. I
Yeah.
titled it "Nothing is Impossible." So that was my first speech ever. I wrote it when I was in a difficult time, in a difficult time, to encourage myself, not for another. So I plug it on my ear and in my Bluetooth earpiece.
Mm.
Then it plays on, and it helped me a lot. Then after some time, I thought about it that if this could help me, there are people
Why
that
not?
needs it outside there.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
why not?
I started from there, and I found myself on YouTube trying to make people hear it and like that.
Yes, you're
I
yeah.
I move by this hashtag, say no to depression.
Wow. So, do you want to talk to me about depression? Is this something you have been through yourself? Because clearly you have a message. Clearly, I mean, everything you've said, it's from the story of your wanting to make people's hair. People say it's better you walk on your passion. What your eyes see and it bothers your heart at the end of the day probably is what you should pay attention to. That is a common thing, and that's what you've done, and I'm really proud of you. Like, most people would want to do honestly would want a man to make their hair. I will do that the same way. So why depression? Is it something you have been through your hard time? Did you go through depression, or why depression?
Okay, this has been a burden before. Even before I started facing these things,
Okay.
in Nigeria, you hear news of some people committing suicide, this, that, and that, because of heartbreaks, because of lack of money, they have lost a lot, everything, and they had to just end it and other things. It was all over the news. So at that time, I was like, nobody should do this. It's just too minor for you to take your life and all of those things. Then when I started feeling these things, I felt it was God that actually wanted me to see why they were doing those things. Then
Agreed.
I was so depressed. But there's something I did that
Hmm.
I felt that, wow, I've been against this thing. I shouldn't be the one to now give up because I'm depressed. Then I started looking for ways and solutions to get out of that depression. Then once I was able to make a way, and I got myself, I now determined not to keep it to myself, and also let the world hear
Sure.
it and make them know that
Hmm.
life is a gift. You don't
Wow.
have to take your life no matter what.
Wow. Wow. I agree. Do you think that the reason you went through, because I've heard people say that we go through what we go through so that we can stay in a better place to help other people. Do you think that the reason you went through the struggles you went through prepared you as a school so that you can be doing what you're doing today?
Yes, it actually prepared me. I believe, I got to understand now. Right now, it has become clearer to me why I went through those things. Before, I was thinking maybe God was just too much on me, all those things. But now, I'm now thankful to God, because without those things, most of all these things you see me talk about on YouTube and write, they are my story. Even if I didn't mention myself, even if I didn't mention my name or my story or myself, they are what has happened to me. I don't write based on, so they are my experiences. So God, that thing I've been going through is just like a process, a build up
Hmm.
for the better place, and to serve others as well.
Wow. So basically, you want to tell me and you want to talk to other people right now that are going through something
Yes,
that is preparing them. Is that what you're saying? That when we go through
yes,
things, like I have been through a lot of things myself, and sometimes you want to feel, why me? Or it's too much.
yes.
Is life a smooth journey? Should people see life as a smooth journey? Because sometimes when people talk, I'm like, are you new on this earth? Life is not a smooth journey. Is it something that resonates with only you and I, or is something that everybody should know as they go through the journey of life?
Okay, the first thing I'm going to say about this is that if you like, let me put it this way, if you don't know the pain of despair, you might not be able to enjoy the bliss of triumph. So
Oh,
it
oh,
is
oh,
all
oh,
these fears, it is
oh.
all these fears that we face, that we go through, that will help us to overcome other challenges. It is in the midst of that fear, if we don't quit, if we continue, that we have success. Because they say winners never quit and quitters never win. The
Agreed.
thing is, the thing is, life is a process.
Hmm.
There is no product without a process. Just like the products we see that with the biscuits and other junks we eat, they went through a process
I
and
agree.
they became a product because of their process. Had it
Hmm.
been they stopped along the way, they would have half product. It will not be complete.
Hmm. Wow, that
So
is
which
depth.
life is full of challenges. That is life is full of challenges, and it is there are just two things. It is either you quit or you continue. That's just it.
Hmm. You either quit or you continue. And if you quit, it's over
It's
with that
over. No one
process.
is going to hear you.
With that process, okay, can I quit on a process and start another process, or most of these processes are tied together?
Okay, first, I should use my business as an example.
Good. Good.
Okay, at the time when I started the business, it was not easy at all. It was tough,
Because
very, very tough. No customers and the rest. So it was tough. But I did something. I was like thinking, am I in the right place? Should I change? Should I do this? And I keep thinking on these things every day. But one day I sat down and I meditated on it, whether to quit and start another thing.
Mhm.
Then I now found out this thing, that the one, okay, if I quit this one and maybe start another
Another.
business, that business also have its own challenges. So
Agreed.
there's its own different challenge. So I
Hmm.
feel everything in life has struggles, but it is how you manage those struggles that determines whether you succeed or not.
So from what I hear you say, is like life is like going to the gym. It's like if you go and you keep practicing, you get better. So when the challenges
Yes.
come, we face them, we are better and we can move on to the next phase of our life. I think that is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes.
So basically, the phrase, what does not break you makes you. How does that tie up to the things that we've been talking about?
Okay. Now, I really I do not entirely agree with that quote.
Collins, you're
Yes.
complicated.
You know why? You know why?
Okay.
It will you will see where I am going to. You will see
Okay,
it.
please
You
go.
know, that quote actually is based on the theory that when we go through difficult times and it does not kill us, it eventually makes us stronger to face other difficult times ahead. But these things cannot just happen because I faced difficulties in my business now. Then automatically I became stronger to face another one. It does not work like that.
Okay.
It works like now. It can either, what doesn't kill you can either make you strong or make you weak. It is what you do in that circumstances. What you do will either weaken you or strengthen you. So you might be
Really?
going through struggles and that struggle did not kill you. But if you decide to quit, then you are not going to be strong. Just like a woman now that had 7 children and a husband, and eventually woke up, slept in the night and woke up in the morning without a husband, becoming a widow. Her husband died, with leaving her with 7 children. You cannot tell me that after all those things that has happened, that woman will automatically develop grit, will automatically become strong.
But she could
But
develop grit. She could develop grit, wouldn't she? After everything,
that's
there's a
if
chance
she
to develop
decides
grit.
to. Yes,
Yeah.
that's if she decides to.
Yeah. So there's a
But
personal commitment to growing. If not,
yes,
it can
and
break you.
yes. And for instance now, she might wake up and choose to say while getting out from bed, no, these children had already lost a parent and they can't lose another and keep going. And they can just sit down there, she can just sit down there and cry all her eyes out and just take something and just end it. So it is the decision, what you do in that circumstance, in that difficult time, that will
Do you
either weaken you or make you strong.
do you think our upbringing, the way we're trained and raised by our parents, the family, the circumstance we grew up, do you think it has a role to play in the way we face life and the challenges of life, or we grow and build our own strength and circumstance as we go through life? What do you think?
I think both.
Okay.
Both. Reason why I say both is that, you see, me personally, me personally, it was my father. I didn't tell him all of these things, but I saw him doing all of these things. Then I said, wow, I want to be like this. You understand? Then I started doing all of those, though I was not really feeling pain because I was getting everything I wanted.
Yeah.
You understand? But when at the time when I started facing these things, I remembered and I didn't stop because he didn't stop. And I continued. But automatically, after I left home, I began to grow myself again. So there are some people that did not live with their father, but or their parents, but still they are still strong to face life challenges. So you can build it yourself and you can learn it.
So it's a dual commitment. It's basically is both your background and yourself. Because again, we've seen people who were raised, like you would say, spoiled, but they chose not to be spoiled. They came out and they were strong. They faced life. And we've seen people who were raised spoiled and they actually were spoiled. Or we've seen people who were given basic tools and saying, no, this is how to go through life, be strong and all that. And they became weak. Now, would you tell families, parents, society, what would you tell them regarding, because there's so much about depression, there's so much going on about, I mean, indeed there's a lot happening in the world, and honestly I think there's always been a lot happening in the world. How would you tell parents to raise their young ones, their children, because we don't know what life will bring our way?
Okay, thank you for that question. Actually, most parents are living with their children. They are not actually training them. There's
Oof.
a difference between your children living with you and
Oh
you
my
actually
God,
training
they're
them.
neighbors.
Yes, you see, you are just staying with them. They are staying with you, but you are not actually training them.
It's sad. I understand what you're saying, and it's painful.
So, to the best time to train a child is from that infant to like 10 years old. That stage, a child looks at the parents directly, like look up to the parents directly. Whatever they see the parents do at that time is what they want to do. And that was my own case actually. But to some others, it also works. But when they start going to be a teenager,
Mm.
and they start seeing other people, and you did not show them all those things right from beginning, they start getting carried away and distracted. And before you know it, you will not even know what is going on because they will not tell you.
Mm.
So it's very, very important. At that age, they become very secretive. Very, very secretive. They only select what to tell you. If at all they tell you anything, they don't tell you everything. So at the age where you get them to tell you even to a little detail, is as they are growing up.
So that
So
is the formative stage, yeah.
yes, and if some parents do not pay attention to their children, they leave them with people. They go out. They don't even ask, "How are you? What did you do today? How is your school? What would you want out of life? How do you see life?" And lecture them all those kind of things. So what changed my perspective right from time is that my dad will tell me stories of how he grew up, how he
Yeah,
did, he
storytelling.
carried, how he carried sewing machine on his head, walk around the road every day to patch people's clothes and to catch fish and set traps in the bush to send himself to school. All those
Yeah.
things. Nobody agreed to help him and all those things. And he went to school with all of those things and came out, and now he was telling us those stories. And I went to him personally. I heard more from him. And that story is the one that kept me till today.
Wow. I did a video some time ago and I said our life, our story. And I said that I grew up hearing a lot of storytelling. My parents were always telling us stories, just like you're confirming. Why are parents, I inclusive, I'm not in any way different. Today I tell my daughter a story I will not remember to tell her in another 1 month. Do you think we're becoming too busy to tell stories? We're leaving the responsibility of telling stories to the blockbusters. What is the problem? Because honestly, I can connect to storytelling. My parents were doing it every day. It was like a moonlighting thing. We're doing it every day. I don't know how they keep up, but they were doing it. It was a tradition. After food, we tell the story and then we listen to news, which I was never interested in because who cares about the news, anyways? But yeah, it was a tradition in my home, and you're confirming that it's the same thing that happened. I don't tell my daughter a lot of stories. I could tell her story today and not remember in the next few months. But it's a good way to bring our lives into our kids' lives so that they can empathize with us and know our struggle. Why do you think modern parents are beginning to lose track of that? We're leaving it to the television and the YouTubes to tell the story for us. Why?
Okay. Something happened recently that went viral online. I don't know if you saw it.
Okay.
Something happened. A 10-year-old girl was found in a video lying with a boy. They went to Dubai for schooling and for their escort, for they
Transportation or
went,
something. Yeah.
yes, they went out. And where
For
the teachers
education.
left
Yeah.
them, the girl left her own room, their room, and went to the guy's room, and they were playing truth or dare, and they ended up sleeping with, yeah, she ended up sleeping with one of the guy, and the video went viral. They were videoing
They were
themselves.
recording
They were
themselves.
record,
She didn't know
yes,
they
they
were.
were.
She didn't know the guys were
She
recording her.
knew. She knew. She was laughing. They were enjoying everything. So the parent came out and was like, her daughter was raped, 10 years old daughter was raped. And people started saying back to her at her that she should thank God that they did not arrest her and her daughter, because it was her daughter who raped the guy, because the daughter
Yeah.
was on the guy. And it did not appear that the girl was raped, because that was not her first time. So the thing is, the girl, the mother, if you look at the mother's life now, probably the mother would have not been having time for the girl. The mother is always outside, and they dumped her in a boarding school. And
No,
a
no,
boarding
no,
school,
no, no. I beg to correct that word. I
okay,
beg to correct that word. Don't kind of boarding school.
I went to a boarding school, so it's not like boarding
Yeah,
school is a
but
bad thing.
again, Collins, we're having a conversation here, and
Okay,
I understand. Look, I understand the sensitivity around these things, but I equally want you to understand that sometimes I don't know the situation of this family, but sometimes that is the only option because they want to create a balance. And no mother, I don't think any mother will encourage. Look, the child chose to do what she did because she wanted to do it. I don't think the mother would have told her consciously or unconsciously. And the boarding school is supposed to equally have principles to guide the children. What do you think? I don't want us to say she dumped her. She probably needed to keep
okay.
her there. Yeah. I just think it would be better that way.
I understand. She chose, because I went to a boarding school and I saw all these things. I still chose not to. You know,
That is it. It's a choice.
I'm sorry to use that word, but
It's a
reason
choice.
why I am getting somewhere, why I said that is that, you know, you might keep, you know, when I was in boarding school, up to every time they check on me, like that, call and use even teachers
Oh
to
yeah.
monitor me and all those things. So all those things, I think they reported the girl to the woman some time ago when she kissed a guy and the guy kissed back. But the woman didn't do anything about that. So she was now saying in the video that she thought that the school had already cautioned her. Understand all those kind of things. But the main thing is that even if you are far away from them, you talked about story. Let me not deviate.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Though my dad was not frequent about storytelling, it's
Okay.
once in blue moon, once in blue
Okay.
moon. So
Thank God.
it does not matter. It
Too
does not
good.
matter. It does not matter if you tell story every time, but when you tell it, say it as if it touched you, like
Yeah.
with passion. Like when you tell them stories, don't just tell them stories. Be an example.
Tell them
Not
your story.
not just telling them to go and buy beer or in Nigeria now, some parents now tell their children go and buy drink. I don't know
No.
if it can happen in the States there,
It's
but
not just, no, you can't do that. It's not just go and buy. I've seen videos where a mother is busy dancing and the child, 2, 3 year old, is drinking a bottle of beer.
yes.
I can't, and they're dancing and they're feeling good about it. I'm like, what is this? No, you can't try that here. No, it's not done anywhere else.
If eventually they don't allow their children to drink, they can send them to go and buy cigarettes and drinks, but we now be telling them, you see this thing you are buying,
Don't do it.
don't ever try it. It's not
No.
good though. How will you be doing it and you say there's not it? As a child, they are more interested in, is that thing you said they should not do that they
That they
really
will do.
want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you absolutely. Whoa. I don't know where we're failing it, but our parents did not raise us that way. Why are we raising our children that way? You dare not. Our parents were strict, they were firm. How come?
Very
And it's
well.
not just only in Nigeria where you are. I see it happening almost everywhere. Like, we're beginning to lose the guard. We don't do the needful. Even when we're there, we let the children do whatever. Is it that we're becoming too lazy as parents? Honestly, I feel some of us shouldn't just be parents.
Most times it might not be due to laziness. It might just be like some parents are just trying to like accept the opinions of their children. It should not look as if they are in a modern age and they are still restricting them so that they will not go and do all these things that they are behind them. But that does not mean when you see the wrong things, you should caution them.
Yes, I
That's
agree
just my
absolutely.
own take.
I agree absolutely. So, do you think that we're raising children that will have persistence, strength, courage to go through life? Or the way we are going, we're setting a time bomb that might explode on us in the next 10, 20 years? Do you think the children we're raising, we're giving them the grit to go through life?
I don't know. What is happening in this world today? What is happening in this world today? So many children are out of the way already.
Wow.
Out. So
It's
it takes the grace of God to bring them back. So I don't know. This there are just few percent of children that are taking life like they should take it. There's something that needs to be done about it.
what is taking life like they should take it. To a teenager who is watching this in discussion, what will you tell that teenager to take life as they should take it?
Okay, first, I said life is a gift
Hmm. Yeah.
and life should be used to the pleasure of the giver.
Ooh.
Some people now, God have given some people life and they actually choke it up with alcohol and cigarette and all those things and even squander it with prostitution and wickedness and the rest. What I want to say to teenagers is that these things, these challenges, these difficulties that we are talking about
Yeah.
is something that they would face. We are different in facial look and everything. We
Yeah.
are different.
I
So
agree.
as these challenges happens to us differently, these
I agree.
challenges happens to us differently in a
I
different
agree.
way.
I agree.
So they should understand that most times now, here now, as we are, some go into money for teenagers. I'm not talking about youth, teenagers. as 13 and 17. They are teenagers, but they want to make fast money. They are into Yahoo money fraud and the rest. They do rituals just to make money. Use their girlfriends. Use so what is even going on now is they pay ladies to sleep with their dogs, and that's ritual as well. So different things are happening, and they are teenagers that they are using teenagers to do so. So if teenagers could see that their friends' time is not their time,
Yeah.
the time which you might be crawling, you might be hopping, you might be walking, you might be running, you might be crawling.
Imagine.
What
Yeah.
matters most? What matters most is that you are moving, you are making progress, no matter how little that progress
Word.
is.
Word.
Don't look at your friend. Don't look at your friend. Continue to push, because the time which they will get to their own destination is not the time you will get to
It's
yours.
different.
It's
Word.
very, very different. So
Word.
don't
Yeah.
look at their own destination. If they have got, you can get to your destination in different ways. There are various ways at which you can get to that destination, but those ways might be destructive in the long
Agreed.
run.
Agreed.
So it's better to be slow and steady than to be fast and furious. That's it.
Wow. Wow. This is a lot. It's loaded. I hope that people begin to learn this truth and begin to apply the truth to the things that they do. And honestly, I do not think that the world became like this just in our generation. I want to believe it has been like this. I think the social media has even made it more elaborate. It's
Yes.
news, it's everywhere. What will you tell an adult, someone like you and I, who is watching this conversation? What will you tell them? They're going through their own time. And I tell people that we go through times. Life is like you climb a mountain, you get to the top, you celebrate, and then you rest, and then you slide down. The sliding is always beautiful, but there's another mountain to climb. What would you tell someone who is going through a time, and a time could be anything they're battling with? What would you tell them, and how would you tell them to go through that process?
Okay. I will tell them to do it with trepidation. That is with courage. What I mean by that is with courage. Courage is not the absence of fear.
Not at
All
all.
these things all these things that are happening, it's not like you are not scared.
Yeah,
But in the midst of that fear, you still push. You are
I,
still doing it.
I agree.
You are still doing it. And the thing is, the beginning is usually tough, but
Right.
better is the end. Yes, better is the end is the suffering of now is even you can never even compare it with the glory that will be revealed. It's very, very simple, though it's difficult to follow, but you need to hold it. There's something I told you I went through a lot,
Yeah,
like,
you said
you
so.
know starving, not
Ooh,
having anything, don't have. I got to understand what it feels like when people say they are hungry. I'm telling
wow.
you, if somebody comes to me and tell me I'm hungry, I know what they feel
You
like.
know,
I know what, yes, I
that
know
is so,
what it
oh God, that is something I don't know. It's still life. I don't know what it means to be hungry.
for me to look at that person and look away is
Wait, you
difficult, because
cannot.
because I know how it feels. I know how it feels. No, what now? What made me feel like I'm stronger to face more difficult tasks is that I now found out that starving or hungry, not eating, cannot kill you. I'm sorry
Wow, I
about
get
that.
it. I get it. I get it. Oh my God. Oh, I lost him there. Gosh. The conversation is so interesting. I think he had issues with his camera. I hope he hops in back into the studio and we keep up at this conversation. Wow. Life is interestingly what it is. The reason he can look at someone who is hungry and not turn his back away is because he knows what it is to be hungry. And that is a unique story. I don't turn my back away from people who are hungry. It is not because I am, it's not because of anything grandiose. It is just that, you know, I am just a compassionate person. But for Collins, he knows what it means to be hungry, so he cannot turn his back. Welcome back. Your camera went off. I hope you're all put together again.
Yes.
Please continue with the
Yes.
discussion. Oh my God.
Okay.
That part where you said, you know what it means to be hungry, it just got to me. I tell my kids, I tell them, don't waste food because there are people who are hungry. I don't know what it means to be hungry, but I know other pain. So we have different pains, but we have the same tools to go through the pain.
Okay. People around me, they actually they know this very well. I don't like wasting food. I cook what I can finish because
Same
I
here.
know there are people out there. If I cannot finish it, then I should be giving it out. So I quarrel with people that waste food a lot. I have been hungry 3 days. I have gone without food 3 days, only water. So I know what it feels
And you
like.
weren't fasting. You just couldn't afford food.
But the thing is, now when I'm looking back at those things, I say, wow, this is a process. I can never feel like worry about any situation I find myself again because I felt like hunger cannot actually kill somebody.
No.
Before I thought if you go hungry, you will die. But hunger cannot
Kills
actually
you.
kill somebody.
Oh God.
So
Wow.
if you quit because you are hungry, it is better to go starving now than to go hungry tomorrow. Sorry, it is better to go hungry now than to
That's
go starving tomorrow.
God, that is huge. I tell my children, I say, do not eat your tomorrow today. So that is what you're saying. It's better to go hungry today than to starve tomorrow because if you eat the food today that you're supposed to sow, that you're supposed to plant,
Yeah.
there is a great possibility that you starve tomorrow. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I just want to chip in something. There are actually people that are really working hard. They are still persistent, but yet they are not getting their results.
Yeah, agreed.
There's something I want to say about that. They might be mistaken somewhere. You know, when you actually get something, for example, let me use money as an example. There is always a seed and a bread in every income you get.
Agreed.
So you should be sowing a seed and also eating your bread. Don't eat your bread and sow, sorry, don't eat your seed and sow your bread.
Mm.
So many people just take their bread, what they should use to do some certain things, and just sow. And
I
why
want to
some the
jump
one
in.
they are
I want to
okay.
jump in. You're going to address this. A lot of people have been misled about the bread and the seed. They take the seed and they drop it in a church, in a mosque, and the bread they eat. That will make them starve tomorrow. Because I need, since you have come to this part of discussion, interestingly, I need us to talk about it. Sowing a seed is investing into your life, into the things that will bring forth other seeds and bread, not dropping it into someone else's hand. Please talk to that.
Okay, now you know seed.
Yes,
Prosperity is a principle.
agreed. Is the seed
I
sowing
tell
principle?
people, okay, I'm going to talk about it. It's a principle. Even that is why you see even even Christians as are even poor. They don't have this money. One thing I believe in that when you have your income with you, you have three. First, my tithe. Then I remove my investment, like this real investment.
Yeah,
Then I also sow seed to church actually, but I don't sow it in expense of my
of your
investment.
investment. That is a
I'm
balance
not.
because
Yes. I don't do it at the expense of each other. Like I balance them together. The church, the investment, and my food,
Yeah,
my
that is
bread.
the
That is it.
balance
So
because
you
I've
have,
seen I've
yes.
seen people, since we delved into this conversation, I just felt we should talk about it. That is the balance because I've seen people, all they know about seed sowing is taking the food, the bread, they take the rent and all that, and the rest they just go dump it in a church. They do not have sufficient savings, they do not have an investment, they do not think of what next to plunge in the money into. That is not seed sowing.
Many people actually do not understand what the Bible says. Actually, you can get deceived if you are not like an addict reader of the Bible, if you are not conversant with the word. One thing is, even
Addict.
the Bible does not support you not saving, you not investing.
No.
The Bible wants you to sow seed also in the kingdom, but
Yeah,
also wants you also to invest in your life.
agreed.
So if you are not doing that, God is not happy. If you are not investing in your own life, God is not happy with you.
Mhm. I agree absolutely. I like the way you have taken it. I mean, it has to be a balance, and this is something where people are actually struggling. And when you say Christians are struggling, I agree with you. When you say people are not reading, knowledge is available, but it's so scarce because people are not investing time to read. And even when some people read, they take word to word whatever they are told by their spiritual leaders. I wouldn't go anywhere else. I'll stay with the Christians that you and I are conversant with. Let's just stay with that part of conversation, that part of, yeah, people just go ahead and do that which they are told verbatim. They don't sit down and balance it. I wouldn't say I was any better, but as we grow up in life, we get better. I hope people are growing up in life and they're getting better. I would want for us to conclude this conversation by you just shedding light on how your work, your passion has brought you to where you are and how it must have brought in joy or happiness into you, doing the things that you do so that other people out there can chase passion and not chase money.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I grew up in a family where everyone can actually sing and play instruments and do all those things.
Oh,
At
great.
that time, I was a really football lover. I play football. I go
Okay.
around and I play football. I thought I would become a professional footballer.
It wasn't
That
meant
was
for
my
you.
first. That was my first passion. That was what I loved the most then.
Ooh,
But I was doing that, but something happened. It didn't work out again. So I had to. They do normally tell me, "Oh, you don't even know how to sing. You are the only one in the whole family that can. Let us teach you all those kind of things." I said no. In my mind, do you know why I said no? If
no.
it is because of them, I would sing. I would not sing. So I chose to
Oh,
I
you're a
chose to
stubborn boy.
discover. I was like, for me, I was optimistic because I knew there was something for me not to be able, only me out of all of them. There was something that
Yeah,
I didn't, that I need to discover. Then I discovered actually all these things I was leaving them, but I didn't know them. They
yeah,
were in me already, but I didn't know them at that time. I got to understand that, oh, I could speak, public speaking, I could write. Now I'm writing books
wow.
and I'm doing so many things. They invite me programs, I go, I speak, and so many things, and which I didn't discover as at that time. I didn't discover that.
Yeah,
So then, when I started this YouTube and started speaking, like writing and posting and all of those things, it looks as if people were not acknowledging it. But I was
they're
doing it
watching.
out of love for the thing, out of love for those that are depressed. I was doing it because I really love these things. I will not quit because of anyone, whether you listen or not. Even then, one person a day would actually
It,
tell me, this. One person said something one day that I was in the middle of something and this write up came. Thank you.
wow.
Then I was like motivated to continue.
Yeah,
I,
you're
I kept
touching
I kept on
life.
the Yes. And now that I didn't quit, I felt like, wow, so many others are acknowledging it. So
Yeah.
if you quit, people will not actually hear your story. It is when you become resilient and unbending that that people will now eventually hear your story. There are so many people that have started something and people did not get to hear them.
Because they left it. I think he's having network problems. I'm so enjoying this conversation. I'm so enjoying this conversation.
That
Not
was because
quitting, not quitting. He's having some
they
issues with
quit.
his connectivity.
Those that
So basically, while you're back, okay, good. We were having network issues. Like at some point, we weren't hearing you at all. Yeah, not quitting
okay,
was, yeah, the last thing we heard of you. Yeah.
okay, not quitting. Not quitting actually. I don't know. Can you recap on
Yeah, you were
it?
talking about the fact that when people quit, nobody will hear their story. Not
Okay,
quitting
okay,
will give you, or yes, will make you
okay,
visible and make your voice heard. Yeah,
okay. There are so many people that people haven't heard their story. There are so many people that started something that people did not actually hear. The only ones we are hearing now are those that did not quit.
yeah, I
Look
agree.
at Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison now, he failed more than even how many times he succeeded.
Severally, I agree.
And look at,
One
so
success
if
shut him up.
so you should, this thing can, you see, opportunity and success. I believe success is when opportunity meets with preparation. Just keep
Yeah,
on preparing yourself. When the opportunity just comes in. And every failed experiment is one step to success. When you fail now and you address it, you find out that it's just a little thing, something that made you fail.
yeah,
And if you address that thing, you will see that you continue. Look
yeah,
at Bill Gates now. Bill Gates failed in Trafo data. Him and Allen, they failed while starting Trafo data. And do you know that it was the failure of Trafo data that brought about Microsoft?
wow. And then
The
Microsoft is a
correction.
huge success now.
So the correction he made that actually brought Microsoft. So if you fail, don't look at your failure as something disgusting. Be happy that you failed, that you want to learn from it, and you see yourself becoming a success.
Wow, wow. Honestly, Collins, is so amazing talking with you. Everything you're saying, I'm looking back. It's beautiful. I think we should just share with the world how this recording, you had to give me a call to wake me up because we're on different time zones. It's crazy, and I needed us to do this. I needed us to do this. Oh my goodness, he's frozen again. I really need to say thank you. It's still midnight here. People are sleeping. The weather is so dark. But I needed to have this conversation with Collins. And I want to say thank you, Collins, for coming around. I appreciate you greatly. I thank you so very much. And I really don't know. I can only say thank you so much. And I appreciate the wisdom you have shared with us. It is huge. It is amazing. Passion is very necessary as we navigate life, as we go through the things we do. And you are not going through your challenge alone. It's not common to you. Whatever it is you're going through, other people are going through or have gone through it. We can only build the bridge, show determination, keep pushing, keep pressing. You don't want to know what the next person is battling, because if you know, you probably will just say, wow, and you didn't look it. So I want you to know that you're doing a great job. Persistence is very necessary. And we're talking about the power of persistence, the ability to stay in the game, stay in the fight, and keep going and keep going. I need you to stay in your fight. I don't know what your struggle is. The whole reason for this recording, for this conversation, is to tell you that there is power in persistence. Keep at it. Let's build a community of strength, because without it, we can't go through life. It is your girl Lucy, and it's Family Unbox. I am so glad having you here. Until I come your way again with another conversation, another video, I am all stuffed. My nose is all stuffed. Like, I can't talk very well. I've been having my own moments too, but passion, right, brought me here. Actually, it is about the early hours of the morning, say 3 a.m. or thereabout. But I needed us to do this because we're a different time zone. He has itineraries and everything will just come in and all put together. But I needed us to have this conversation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this conversation. You are doing good. You're the best. Your best is yet to come. Don't be in a hurry to make money. Don't be in a hurry to do anything that is not right. Follow the process of growth and you will see yourself at the other side of victory. I look forward to celebrating you at the other side of victory. You know, that is what I always say. I look forward to celebrating myself at the other side of victory. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep staying persistently. And I know your best, my best, our best will show up and we will celebrate. Bye.